Yeah, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you counting? I'll count down. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Amalaka,
My name's Sam.
and this is Deadcore.
So Dead Core, as you can see, is a first-person shooter style 3D platformer. It's got really cool non-linear design. It was made in 2014 by 5-Bit Games. It's got a bunch of cool different movement mechanics and different ways to beat every level.
Yep.
Wako is going to talk about the category a little bit now. Did I cut you off there from something related to what I was talking about?
A little bit,
Yeah.
Zoc.
Totally. We just talked about that.
The main premise of this game is pretty simple. Basically, our main and primary goal here is to get from point A to point B as fast as we possibly can. This game was definitely, the developers definitely had speedrunning in mind when they made this game. Yeah. So the category we are running is going to be no wall clips, no mega jumps, speedrun %. So you may have noticed after we beat each level, we are going back to the main menu and we're clicking, actually I'm doing it right now. I'm going to click the speedrun button and then I'm going to click the next level that I want to run, which I'm going to be doing Delta. So the speedrun % piece of the category is derived from simply that we are in the speedrun menu, I guess. The no wall clips, no mega jumps piece is derived from the rules of the run. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I will break it down. So, no wall clips, no mega jumps simply mean you cannot do you can't do wall clips, which is a glitch, and you can't do mega jumps, which is another glitch. The reason for these rules, and I guess you can think of no wall clips, no mega jumps as a how do you say this?
No major glitches.
No major
Almost.
glitches. That's exactly the words I was looking for. No major glitches. You can definitely think of it like that. It's just minor glitches that that are fun. The no wall clips, no mega jumps category in general is definitely the most sporting and most sporting category to date. I'd argue. More things to talk about on the category itself is in speedrun, no wall clips, no mega jumps, speedrun %. We do in fact use RTA timer, a real timer. You can note here that there is in fact a timer on our gun, which ordinarily deadcore runners would use for basically, not all, but basically every other category. Except for this one and I think like one other.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what yeah. And then the last thing I want to note about the category, I've just died 2 times in a row, feels bad, man. Thing I want to note about the category itself is that we're playing every level in the game with the no walk-ups, no mega jumps rules, and what I want to point out is, one, we don't start with these levels. A lot of these levels, the level I'm on right now, is a bonus level. Not part of the primary campaign. This is something that has to be unlocked. So what this means is, this category is begun and played on a 100% save file. It's a new game plus category.
We have all the upgrades at the start of the game.
Right, we have everything. We have all. Yeah, we have everything. Sam, do you want to kind of break some of those things down? Or?
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the basic mechanics of Dead Core. Obviously, it's a platformer. We got our jump, and we have a double jump. Those are really the only 2 things you would start a fresh save file with. Next thing you get is this gun. It's called the switch gun, and that's because of its ability to switch different objects that we're going to be interacting with on and off. You can use it to deactivate enemies, you can use it to turn on these grab fields. Grav fields are another. The grav mod is another upgrade we get, and in these fields it changes the orientation of gravity.
Yes.
Another of these basic mechanics you're seeing us spam a lot of is the dash. This is indicated by the bar on our gun. It shoots us forward, and we can dash for different amounts of time depending on how long we hold the button down for. This gives us a lot of control in how we use this mechanic throughout the game.
Totally. Dash is kind of the bread and butter of the game, honestly. Regardless of what category you're playing, you can be playing glitchless, and dash is it's just core to going fast in this game. Proper dash management is crucial. Sam, do you want to break down how that works? Or?
Yeah. So what you can see me doing here is that every time I'm hitting the dash button, I'm holding it down for as briefly as I can. And this is allowing me to get way more dashes in. This very starting part of our dash is really a lot of acceleration. So the more dashes you fit in, you're going to be finishing levels a lot faster. Something you don't want to do is you never really want the dash meter to be topped off totally, because that means that you're wasting valuable dash recharge that you could have. You really want to be using as much dash as possible, but without running out.
Totally. And actually, that reminds me of another thing. There is... Actually... Well, I'm about to do story mode.
Yep.
We'll talk... So, okay. So, I am starting the story mode segment of the run. So what this means is I'm actually now playing the levels that are in the campaign. These are not bonus levels. These are levels that would be played. There's 5 levels in the campaign. These are levels that we'd be speedrunning in basically any other category. That they are the core of the game. So that's where we're at. But I did want to touch on one last thing with the dash mechanic itself, and that is there is an unfortunate mechanic. It's not RNG or anything, but basically there's a point at which your dash meter does not have enough dash to perform a dash, and it doesn't really tell you, and it just makes a sad noise. And you often die, and I just wanted to mention that because I think it's fun. Did you cover all basic mechanics there? Or?
I don't think we have talked about Blast yet.
Blast. Okay, so Blast. Do you want me to cover Blast?
Yeah, go for it.
Blast is a power-up that we would have acquired on level 6 had we, in the story mode again, had we been starting from a fresh 0% save file here, but since we already have it, and I'll do one right here for you. So I'm gonna look at the ground and I'm gonna shoot. You can see that giant little blue explosion that occurred. That's the Blast power-up. You can think of this as rocket jumping in other games. The power-up is called Blast, so what we call what I just did there, Blast Jump. It's really useful. We spam it non-stop in conjunction with our dash, and something we do a lot actually is we'll combine dash with blast. You'll see me, like, you know, look at the ground, blast and dash all at the same time, and that's just a way to get some quick and good air, help me get through some obstacles and pieces of the levels. All right. Oh, I messed up. I just quit story mode.
Oh no.
That's okay. So a speed strat in this category, as we've mentioned previously, is that you go to the speedrun menu of the game, and that's where all the levels in this category reside. But there's a story mode button. So once you get to the point in which you want to do the story mode levels, which I should mention that there's no rule in this
category.
Run about in this category about what order you do the levels in. So you could do them in the order, but it's pretty it's highly advised that you click that story mode button, run through the 5 main campaign levels, rather than having to menu back each and every time and losing time, because you're losing time on those load times. So yeah.
Do you think that's most of what we want to talk about for basic mechanics?
I mean, there's other minor things, you know, little small pickups that you get in an NG run, but we are running NG Plus, and I think that's good.
Cool. We can move to talking about some of the glitches we're using throughout this run then, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, we've been using glitches this entire time, by the way. Surprise.
What I just did there is called a curve boost. And the way this works is when you dash into a slanted surface, your dash gets redirected upwards and you get this insane amount of height. I did 2 of them there at the start of this level.
What level are you on?
I'm just started the storm.
Same. I'm right behind you, it must be. So I just performed the same tricks.
Okay, yep.
You can talk about grab boosting. Go ahead, Sam. If
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
At a point.
So this trick that I'm about to do up here, when I leave this purple field, is called grab boosting.
We're neck to neck.
Oh crap. So, I missed that grab boost. I'll have another one I'm going for here. Oh. I guess we're gonna fall down and go for the first one. Got hit by a cube there. Rip. So yeah, grab boosting. Attempt 3. You leave these grab fields, and as your camera is reorienting, you dash and jump at the same time, or very similar times, and it launches you really high into the air. A common trend you'll notice about the glitches in this game is they all kind of give you a lot of vertical height. So the important distinguishing factors for these glitches is how we set them up, not really what's happening after we do them.
Yeah, so grab boosting is like a super valuable glitch. It's a pretty young glitch too. I think we just, well, that's debatable. Okay, so, it's a funny thing. Grab boosting is an old but new glitch. So we've done different versions of grab boosting for a while now, but just in these recent months, I'd say probably 3 or 4 months ago, we discovered, I kind of waltzed into it. I kind of discovered a new way to grab boost, and then Sam, actually, my cohort here, is the guy who kind of figured out how to redo this trick over and over, so that's pretty cool. But it's an especially valuable trick, especially in NG Plus runs, because it allows runners to it opened up the routes. It's just a new glitch. Basically in Deadcore you're always going up. We've talked about the non-linear level design, and one piece of the level design in this game is that you're always going up, you're always rising. If you're ever lost, go up. That's the best advice I can give you in this game, is we're always going up. So grab boost is a new mechanic that allows us to do that, and what's really cool about it is, my cat's in the way, is what's really cool about it is it's really effective, and it's easier than some of the other tricks we have to do that allows us that we do to go up, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I have cat. Alright.
Oh, I left story mode too.
Those. Oh, dude, I didn't. Well, I'm not gonna save these splits, but moving into Extension.
That's right where I am as well.
All right. Actually, so coming up here, I'm gonna show you. So you've seen, and it was explained by Sam, what kind of the new grab boost is. Now, because I'm in this grab field, I'm gonna show you what an old grab boost is. Basically, I'm in this gravity field, and when I reach the end of it, I'm gonna jump at a particular time, and that's going to give me a big boost of air there, as you can see. Kind of hard to see because the enemy that got me there, listen, those guys are called mosquitoes. Kind of got a hold of me, but we got through it.
But yeah, so the grab boosting mechanic all kind of works similarly to that. We just found new ways of doing the glitch, and now we can basically do a grab boost out of any grab field we find in the game.
Yep.
With a few different techniques of doing it.
Totally. The thing is that makes it special is previously we thought we could only do it a certain way, and now we can do it. Yeah, like the same thing. So I realize now. Did you just get on the elevator, Sam?
I just got off the elevator.
Same.
Yeah.
Want to cover? I don't know. We didn't talk about the checkpoint system yet.
We should. One of us should do that on the last checkpoint of this level.
Oh, totally. Okay.
Yep.
So let's segue into. We're still on glitches and stuff.
Super dash jumps.
Super dash jumps. Do you want to break it down, or should I?
Why don't you go for it? You're more likely to hit this one coming up.
Yeah, I'll go for it. So right now, I just did you covered curve boost. Yeah, so I just I'm kind of crossing this giant laser grid of death here to get on this cube in which there is a boost pad here, this blue flame thing here. I'm gonna perform a glitch on it called super dash jumping. Super dash entails a dash and a very precise jump. So we need the dash to get a speed for the glitch, and we need to jump into this boost pad at the exact right time. It's about a 2-frame window. I actually got it my second try here. But it's a very, very precise trick. Again, a 2-frame window to really succeed on that. And it's actually extremely important for the no wall clips, no mega jumps categories to kind of get these under your belt and get semi consistent with this glitch.
I did my backup strategy for that specific super dash jump, so you can see how much time I lost compared to him. I did have to do another attempt, but it's a much slower strategy than the super dash jump.
Yeah.
Are you coming up to the last orb?
Yeah, so I'm on my way out to the third orb. Right now what we're doing is we're activating these orbs so we can leave the final level of the campaign mode extension. What we're doing in particular here is we're avoiding checkpoints in this last stretch. We call this the home stretch. See, there's a green pad right there. I'm going to kind of fly over it and pretend it's not there and skip it. The reason for this is it's a little speed tech here. We don't want to get it because we don't want, when we press R, if we press R, we go back to the last checkpoint. But we want to go back to a checkpoint even further back than the one that was right there. So we skip getting it, and when we beat the level, we move on to, we go back to an earlier checkpoint, which is just faster. It just cuts out backtracking time is the word I was looking for there. Backtracking. It cuts out backtracking.
Yep. And there are 2 points in this level that we do that.
Yup. And we do it in other places as well, but Extension is a great place to talk.
I think it's definitely one of the biggest impacts that type of thing has in the game.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic of checkpoints do other things. Just kind of go back to basic mechanics. But it's worth mentioning, so checkpoints are those green circles on the ground. Checkpoints obviously will allow you to respawn in certain places, but they also replenish your ammo. When you walk over a checkpoint, your ammo is replenished. And when you revert to a checkpoint, your boost is replenished immediately. So a really common practice for speedrunners here, and I'll do it right here actually. I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna press R, respawn right away. That way my boost is replenished immediately. This just saves time. Again, we kind of mentioned before that boosting it. Your dashing is kind of the bread and butter mechanic of the run of the game, really. And so, by restoring our dash as much as we can, having full dash all the time, or as much as we can, I mean, we're essentially going as fast as we possibly can in doing so, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Like I was talking about when I first brought up dashing, you want to dash as much as you can. So when you're able to use up your full meter and then replenish your dash right when you hit a checkpoint, you're able to start rocketing forward immediately instead of waiting for your dash to recharge.
Right. That's a rough one. I have to go back. Forming a curve boost right now. Mechanic Sam did touch on. Yeah, we've been spamming these tricks that we're kind of describing to you now this entire time. All these tricks are an integral part of the no wall clips, no mega jumps category. So moving on though, we've kind of given you an idea about the game in general. I would like to go and talk about reasons to love this game as a speed game. This game casually is a very, very different experience as a speed game. And there's lots to love here is in both, but it's especially a great speed game. So going
right.
off
One of the coolest things, at least for that a lot of us agree on, this game has very low amounts of RNG.
it's close to none.
Yep. Effectively no RNG, which is really satisfying because you're never trying to grind things just for a random occurrence. When things go well, it's because you played well, and when things go poorly, it's because there are things you could do better.
Exactly. And I think that's like the best thing ever. Like,
Yep.
I don't know.
Something we've talked about a little bit is just how non-linear these levels actually are designed. You can beat the levels in a bunch of different ways, and when you're actually trying to time it out, they end up being very similar in time a lot of the time.
Totally. Yeah, Dead Corners, especially the really, really experienced guys, kind of like me and Sam here, we got backup strats on our backup strats. So when something does go wrong, we're always it's not a gigantic heartbreaker, unless we're grinding for a world record or something. But in the instance of a race, it's surely not that bad.
But then also, even like when you get down to examining like the very smallest decisions we can make, like where we choose to dash and stuff, we can do it a little bit differently and have a different kind of rhythm to it.
Oh,
and ultimately, it's going to work out to be a very similar time.
Took a pretty heartbreaking death here on, yeah, this is not good. On Iota.
Yeah, I took a pretty bad death at Iota too. I got the deal where I had to get the doors back opened.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Oh no, and I died again. Well, please, doors be open this time. That'd be great, thanks. Otherwise, this is a heartbreaker.
I messed up the super jump and my backup, so you got a little more time to get this back to neck and neck.
Alright, in the meantime, don't you touch on, I know it was previously mentioned, but let's talk about the love for the IGT timer.
The in-game timer is awesome. This is one of the few categories in this game where we're not going to use the in-game timer. But it's nice to have an accurate timer that doesn't require you to be accurate with clicking the timer. Just a nice thing to have a game with a built-in timer. This game was made with speedrunners in mind.
Yeah, it's a gigantic quality of life thing that I just love it. I don't know. I have nothing else to say besides I just love it. I think it's the best thing ever. I'm moving into Kappa right now, so get your Kappas out for Kappa.
I just got into Kappa as well.
We got a nail biter on our hands right now.
Yeah, this is a pretty close one. We're going to be setting up another super jump similar to the first one we talked about on the Ascension here. See these moving platforms ahead of me.
That was the final level of the story mode that we talked about. We're both going to go for it here. I think I got it.
I got it, but I hit the super jump very rarely, so I'm not confident in my dash management on getting over here. I got it. We good.
Oh, you got it. Dude, a death there would have been catastrophic.
Yeah, that's a terrible death. It's a really bad death. But it's such a good skip when you hit it.
True. And Sam could have come back, even had he died. Honestly, it wouldn't have been a deal breaker. The regular route's not too bad. But that is definitely the optimal or faster route to go. So one thing I want to mention is how hard commentating this game is.
It's pretty hard.
It's pretty hard.
We gotta focus a lot while we're doing this. There's not really much time that we have down for just breathing or thinking.
Yeah, when you compare this game to Speed games to other Speed games, other games have, cutscenes and long loading screens and, in general, just like breathing room. This game really doesn't give you that, luxury. I would call it a luxury because, I don't know. It's luxury.
It's a luxury for us, for sure.
Yeah. I want to go fast, so I don't want cutscenes. I don't want long loading screens. Well, a little breathing room here and there. What? That's too much to ask for. We're coming up on the end of Kappa here, Sam.
Yeah, I've messed up the NERS skip here a couple times now.
Well, I took a death with the laser gates, so we're still neck and neck.
Still at like the same spot.
Still neck and neck. Yeah.
Okay.
You through?
Nope, I have to do the curve boost back up because I didn't get the right height off that jump pad.
Ah, I died again. I should have just taken the backup strat and I'd be ahead of you right now.
But instead, you're behind me.
It's true, it's true. We're coming up on the end of the run, by the way. We got only a couple more levels here.
3 levels after Kappa.
Alright, I beat it. I'm moving on to Clement. I pressed the wrong button. My menuing's bad.
So right there, you saw me dash into a jump pad, and then I quickly reset. This is one of the very, very few spots where I have no backup strategy for missing the super dash jump. So if I don't hit it here, I need to just respawn, and do it again. I keep dying on these lasers, too, which means I have to keep hitting the super dash over and over.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for sure. I got through it though, so I think I just passed you.
Oh yes, yep. You're now ahead.
So this is a pretty dangerous section. This level's called Clement. Once again, this is part of the speedrun mode. So these are bonus levels. These levels in particular, these last 3 that we're going to be doing here, in the speedrun mode menu are under a label that says backers on it. This is believed to be because the levels are actually named after really large donators in a Kickstart when this game was in development. some pretty interesting things about this game in general with that in mind is one is Deadcore is actually not the game's original name. It was originally we called Deadlock, which I find interesting. Moving on to Nicholas, by the way. Here's Sam.
I'm you're gaining a little bit of time on me.
This is the most hardcore level in the game. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't blink. Ooh, actually, I died. So I was gonna make a joke about how hard this level is.
And you died?
The fun fact is it's not, but I died. So it's twice. Sam, I'm just trying to give you a chance here.
Well, so I might be coming ahead of you then.
You on Nicholas?
Yeah. But I just died on Nicholas, so I...
We don't usually die on Nicholas. I'm moving on to Wancho. The final level of the run. Fun fact of this level, again, it's part of the backers group here. No one likes this level. This level isn't fun. This level is kind of lame. Not necessarily the design itself, but there's just things about it. One thing in particular is especially disgusting to Speedrunner. I will definitely cover that here, because I'm about to go do it. So I'm gonna do a super dash jump up on that boost pad there, and I'm gonna come up to this platform. So I need to be in that grab field way up there, but I can't because it's way up there. So I simply have to sit here and wait for it to come down. It's literally like the only auto-scrolling moment in the whole game.
But I guess it's our one opportunity to catch our breath, right?
Yeah, that would be the one hour to catch our breath. In a marathon setting, though, it's not an opportunity I really need. That opportunity I could use, you know, donations, what have you. I don't necessarily need that specific, that specific one, I guess.
Yep.
Even then, I don't know. I don't enjoy that particular, I guess I'm picky. I don't know. Another fun fact about this level is there's a developer's face in this level. I'm still a little bit from it, but I'll definitely be shouting that out when I get there.
Oh, I just took a pretty big death.
Big death?
On the big gauntlet area, rotating platforms.
That's rough. Yeah, this level is super brutal too. Not only is they got that little auto-scrolling spot, but after that there's just kind of a gauntlet of death you have to make your way through. There's the face, by the way, and it's this level is incredibly brutal. Right now I'm climbing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it is the longest level in the game, at least with our current strategies.
Yeah, I think that's right. Just want to point out, so I did just climb the developer's face. In that section there, it is pretty crucial that you have proper blast management. We mentioned blast and how we use it for blast jumping and getting extra height on our jumps. Ooh, I have to do it again. Sam, you have time for some redemption here.
You have the faces again?
I'm climbing the face again.
So am I. So we're back to neck and neck.
Oh no! I don't want to talk about this anymore. Sam, your turn. Just kidding. But I did forget what I was talking about.
Yeah, we're wrapping up this level.
Oh, I died at the same spot. I think that might be GG. We're wrapping up
as long
the
as
level
I
here.
don't die.
Sam, please.
I
just
didn't
take a
die.
dive. Have some sportsmanship.
Not much for tricks coming up. I'm gonna do a couple of these blast jumps, couple off walls. I'm gonna set up a curve boost on this last corner and fly up to the last loading zone.
He's at the last section. I am close to the last section, but not quite there.
I finished with a 34-33.
Well done, Sam. So I'm getting the last checkpoint here till the run is over. I will actually be doing the exact same thing that Sam just described. So, uh, lost by a hair, it seems. Ooh, I missed. I didn't get a good enough wall blast dash jump there, so you have to perform that again. There it is, and then yeah, we're wrapping it up. Timing with a 35:15. What'd you get, Sam?
34:33. So that's only a like 45-second difference.
Yeah,
Solid.
that's pretty good. And I died. It was closer until I died again. It would have been a really, really big nail biter had I not taken that extra death. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So that is Deadcore. Hope you enjoyed it. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any last words. Oh, something I think I would have liked to mention but didn't get to is I did mention before that commentating this game is really hard, thus because it has no breaks. It's a nonstop onslaught. But if this game were to get in, we'd obviously have we'd have a couch, we'd have commentators helping us out, and the donations as well would give some breathing room here to really tighten this all up and make it a really fantastic showing. So thanks for checking this out, and we hope you enjoy it.